What's up, everybody? It's the homie Truth Teller, the street reporter, and once again, I'm back in Chicago. And remember, when I said I came out here, I didn't just want to talk to anybody in the drill culture, anybody in the Chicago rap culture. I didn't want to come out here and talk to the same people because we just think a lot of the same interviews going on over and over. And I think it's a lot of people in the city of Chicago that moves the culture forward. In my opinion, I got a guy in front of the camera who a lot of people in Chicago know about, but a lot of the new people probably don't get it. For the people who don't know what's going on, you'll let them know exactly what your name is and where you're from, bro.
Oh, you already know. It's the real CTCDuwop.
Now, I ain't gonna lie, I've been seeing you in this rap shit for a while, bro. Exactly what neighborhood you from again?
Well, I'm from 52nd and Green Street specifically, but I'm from, the area known as the infamous Motown.
Right, now, that's where...
it's like the back of the yards neighborhood.
Right, and I hear a lot about that neighborhood. I see the rap community then kind of start jumping on that community. I see it in the newspaper. What is the difference between the lower numbers and the high numbers? Because we see a lot about like the 60s and the 100s, but I see a lot of violence in the lower numbers.
Yeah, like we call all the low numbers the low end. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And from I say from Roosevelt on back to 95th. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna say 95th. I'm gonna say from the low end to about 63rd, 65th, maybe 67th. You know, all of that, we'll call that the low end, and that's just the lower numbers, you know what I'm saying? That's like 12th Street all the way back to 6700 South. That's the south side.
Right, and when you say Motown, do that mean that like everybody is like Blackstones or something like that? Is it other gangs in Motown?
Yeah, it's definitely, that's how the whole city is. Like, one area be known for primarily one gang just because it got history with that one gang, but it's other gangs that live within that neighborhood. They not as out and about, you know what I'm saying, flaunting it as much because they respecting that territory or that area, but you know what I mean, it's other gangs within Motown.
And from growing up in Chicago, I'm not gonna lie, it make it seem like you gotta be affiliated or you gonna be like a victim. You can't just move around as your own man out there?
You can, but at the same time, like, you don't see, that's rare. Like, because Chicago, you got one chance at this thing called life. You know what I mean? The choices you make come with consequences. So if you choose to roam as a loner around the city and you ain't got good survival skills, who knows how that's gonna play out? Right. You know what I mean? But if you got the survival skills to survive on your own, some people prefer it. Like, a lot of times I prefer it. You know what I'm saying? It's just, some people it's just like they introverts, they prefer to be away from people, like just to energize themselves, to brainstorm, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you just...
You know what? I recently looked in the Chicago Sun-Times newspaper, and I seen something that kind of threw me off. It said over 80 people shot, over 10 people murdered in like a 3-day span, like a damn weekend. What is all that about?
Shit, it's a war in the city.
Right.
That the same thing date back to them interviews I did. Like, we been warning people about what was to come. Like, I don't know if people be listening and paying attention to what we be saying, but we be really out here, like, we know what's going on in the streets, and it's a war going on out here. Like, it's been a war going on. It's more intensified now.
Right. Is it? I be asking people, is it a money thing? And some people say, nah, it ain't got shit to do with the money. They still gonna kill. Is it a money thing or something? Is it like a revenge thing? Because I hear the revenge shit too. Is it like a revenge thing?
It's a lot of different things though.
Okay.
Like, in some situations it's money, some situations it's revenge, some situations it's just people just inheriting other people's beefs just because they clicking up with other people that they normally wasn't clicked up with. Right. Like, you got people out here doing hits, you know what I'm saying? You got people out here like just trying to eat, you know what I mean? Like, some people come out here like they don't got no opportunity, you know what I mean? So they out here taking.
Do the rap instigate it?
Yeah. The rap fuel it, but I ain't gonna say like it's the reason. like that's some people, that's their way of life. You know what I'm saying? Some people back against the wall like in life, so they just gonna do what they known to do. You know what I'm saying? A lion gonna be a lion, whether you got them in the jungle or in the zoo. They gonna be a lion.
Facts. You know what? I done told a few artists this. I want to tell you this too, because I think this is important for people who just jumped into the Chicago culture, don't understand. It's a lot of rappers that's buzzing right now, but they've been buzzing for 6 months. It's a lot of rappers that's got in this rap shit. They've been doing this shit for a year and a half. I see you got videos on YouTube from 9 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So I want to give you a shout out for that shit, because I don't think a lot of people understand that, you know, you got to build a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But me saying that is, you one of the first people I seen with a song with ChiefKeef and a video with ChiefKeef, had all the gang in the video too, before people jumped on it. How did you get that feature? Did you know him? It was a relationship or something?
Like, yeah, like it wasn't like I grew up with Keef them or nothing like that. Like, I'm older than them, you know what I'm saying? I'm like 10 years older than Keef them.
Okay.
Like, for real though. And it's like all the time, like I knew his uncle now, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of his big homies, like, you know what I mean? And we just locked in early. Like, I saw the talent in Shorty, like, before the world like caught on and really knew, like, before he organically got on. But before they really saw what was going on, like, I had been seen it. Like, I've been, like, you know what I'm saying, locked in with their camp, like, as far as, like, just wanting to push. Like, it wasn't even no gang shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people don't even know, like, I ain't even BD. You know what I'm saying? So, in the beginning, like, I was one of the first motherfuckers that was outside of their camp rocking with them like that. You know what I'm saying? Helping them push the move.
Right.
But it was just because I saw Shorty true glow early. Like, it was organic, the love I have for what Shorty was doing, what the vision that he had. I saw Shorty vision before the world saw Shorty vision. You see what I'm saying?
Right. You know, once he blew up, it seemed like he got attacked by a lot of people. It seemed like some of his homeboys even kind of like looked at him a little weird. I know you ain't really you, like you said, you ain't grew up with him, but what's all that people don't like Keef shit about in Chicago?
Some of it just be hate, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, some motherfuckers just hate anything come out of Chicago, you know what I mean? I'd have been all over the world, man. It's like, some motherfuckers just hate Chicago. But outside of that, some motherfuckers just don't understand Shorty no way of life. Like, our way of life being from the streets of Chicago. Like, we like our own country inside the country. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't live like everybody else. It's a lot of places that imitate Chicago, but a lot of people don't really truly understand the way we be living coming from Chicago unless they done been here, unless they didn't experience this shit. Like, it's hard for them to understand the depth of the pain that a lot of us be having. And, you know, like they say, pain would make talent. Like, pressure make diamonds, you know what I mean?
You know what? I don't want to sugarcoat it either now, Wop. You know, I recall some of your videos early, and I understand that you grew up, you was affiliated in some of the gang culture shit, okay? Now, I ain't gonna, but I also see some shit that I think is intriguing, bro, and I think a lot of young people gonna find this shit intriguing. You also went to, like, war and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, what made you go from, you know, being outside and shit to signing up to go fight for the country?
You know what? That's crazy. And that's, like, I did a lot of interviews, and that's one question they don't really ask. You know what I'm saying? That's dope that you asked that. But for real, though, like, I didn't really come from no patriotic family. Like, my family wasn't really raising us like, hey, we gonna send y'all to the military once y'all turn 18, 19. Like, nah, that wasn't my situation. Like, I was really out here, and I was catching a lot of, like, drug cases early, like, early in my childhood. You know what I'm saying? Getting locked up, I was 13, 14, like, just reckless, you know what I mean? And, like, I was one of them last situations for the second chance program. Like, I went to court one day. I was like...
Wait a minute, second chance, what's that?
So I was like 18, and I went to court, and, like, the judge, like, gave me a rare, like, one of them last chance opportunities. Like, look, you got today to choose. They gave me, like, 6 hours to choose. Like,
not to cut you off, but what is that? You said a second chance. What's that?
It's like a second chance program. So it's like basically like, instead of you going to prison for 6 years, you go to the military for 6 years.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
And they give you that opportunity to change, to you know what I mean?
Okay.
And I took that opportunity. Like, you got to be a fool to just, I just want to, send me to prison for 6 years. Like, I'll go to the military. You know, I looked at it like it was going to be boot camp, but that shit wasn't, though.
Right. So when you get out there, I want to know, I don't want to sound corny with this shit, right? But do they hand you a gun?
Well, it ain't that they hand you a gun. They train you first. They train your mind. So you go to what's called basic training. Okay. And that's boot camp. You feel me? But it's like intensified though. Like they really like break you down to build you back up. They break you down mentally. You know what I'm saying? They get in your head. They holler at you. They yell. They get all in your face. Like that's the break old habits that you show up with. You see what I'm saying? Because you gotta understand when you go into basic training for the military, like you got people that's coming from everywhere. You know, you can be standing next to somebody from Florida, somebody from Georgia, somebody from Texas, like somebody from Detroit. Like I had homies from everywhere that I met in the military. Right. And it was like we all got there for them to break us down mentally and rebuild us. You know what I'm saying? And it was a good thing. Like the military, I feel like it saved me because if I would stayed in Chicago that whole time, and I already know I had to do a bid because that's what I was in court for. I was finna do 6 years.
Okay, exactly. What did they send you?
They gave me a choice to, choose my branch of service, and I chose the Air Force because I knew like I was intelligent enough to pass like and score good on the ASVAB. Like so, I took the test, I got some decent scores, and I chose the Air Force, and they sent me to Texas.
Okay, so that's where you served most of your.
No, I was all over the place. Like after Texas, I went to like Wyoming, I went to Maryland, I even went over to. I had to live in England for like 2 years. I was in Germany. I went to Iraq for 20 months.
Okay, now I'm glad you said that. That's why I'm asking you that, because I'm trying to push you so I can hear the word Iraq, right? Now I finally heard it. Okay.
Oh yeah, so, I went to Iraq specifically.
Okay, this is my next question. That's why I'm steady pushing you, Wop. Like where till you finally said, okay. Now this is my question, right? I hear shit and from watching the Chicago drill culture shit. Mm-hmm. It's more dangerous out here than Iraq. I hear that shit, okay? Yeah. Is that true?
Hell yeah.
Then Iraq?
See, and I'm gonna get in depth with that a little bit.
Talk to me.
It's